While in Singapore, Trump heaped praises on the leader, calling him talented and smart. Let's watch more of this.
Well, he is very talented. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did at 26 years of age and is able to run it and run it tough, you'd be very surprised. Very smart, very good negotiator.
Really, he's got a great personality. He's a, funny guy. He's a very smart guy. He's a great negotiator. He loves his people. Not that I'm surprised by that, but he loves his people. I think he liked me, and I like him, and I understand the past. And, nobody has to tell me he's a rough guy. He has to be a rough guy, or he has been a rough person. But we got along very well. His country does love him. His people, you see the fervor. They have a great fervor.
Oh, yeah, a lot of individualism, that kind of. This seems to be part of a pattern for this president who praises autocratic leaders and badmouths our Democratic allies. Let's watch him.
It's a great honor and privilege, because he's become a friend of mine, to introduce President Erdogan of Turkey. He's running a very difficult part of the world. He's involved very, very strongly, and frankly, he's getting very high marks. And he's also been working with the United States. We have a great friendship. As countries, I think we're right now as close as we have ever been. We've had a great relationship. This has been very successful.
He's a killer, though. Putin's a killer.
A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent?
That sounds like Michael Corleone in Godfather 1. You don't think senators kill people? How naive are you? Anyway, for Trump, the Singapore summit was an opportunity to make history, but for the North Korean leader, it was a public relations success, cementing his Trump-backed legitimacy in the world stage. For him, joined by John Wolfstall, he's former special assistant to President Obama, and Vivian Salama. Salama is a White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Both of you, why the praises? I can see we got along okay. We all talk about political communiques like that when constructive talks, the language. He's coming out like a kiss butt. It's outrageous. It's outrageous the way he talks. This guy's a killer.
I only see two plausible explanations. One, I think, is the more likely, is that Trump is jealous of this people. It's a natural proclivity towards rough guys, and he thinks that's respectable.
He wants to ride around the horse with his shirt off like Putin. Is that what he wants to do?
I think the other possibility here is that, look, Donald Trump's a salesman, right? He's trying to get this, butter him up and say, look, what does it take to get you in this timeshare today? The video he showed was like a timeshare video, right? So what do I do to get you to sign on this line? If he wins, if he gets a guy to sign and actually follow through, it's a great deal.
Okay, you're an old commie like Kim. I mean, they're communists. They don't believe in anything except the state. And he's saying you got to bring sandals in here. You got to make this a resort. You got to use your beach property. You got some great real estate here. What does this old the young commie say to that? What are you talking about? Trump's talking like some real estate developer, which is what he is.
Well, and he doesn't really hide that he sees these negotiations as part of this boardroom mentality where you got to talk tough, but you also have to kind of give
Do you think Kim Jong-un wants to loosen up his country and turn it into resort town?
But no, I mean, many people are rightfully skeptical on it. But Chris, I'm actually sitting here because I am still recovering from G7 coverage, which I've just done for the last couple of days, where we are still, to this day, even in Singapore, when he's coming off of this historic summit, the president is still trashing Justin Trudeau for criticizing him after he left, because of the fact that he feels that Justin Trudeau was unjust in his attack because he did it after the president left.
Those attacks weren't really attacks. I watched the whole thing. It wasn't that tough.
And it wasn't anything new either. It's not something that Justin Trudeau hasn't said before.
Well, while in Singapore, the president was asked why he had such high praise for Kim and harsh words for allies like Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Let's watch him explain that.
What do you say to America's allies who worry that you might be jeopardizing our long-term alliances and who worry that you might be treating our historic friends as enemies and our historic enemies as friends?
Well, first of all, I think it's a very fair question. I had a very good meeting with the G7, and I left the meeting, and I'll be honest, we are being taken advantage of by virtually every one of those countries. I have a good relationship with Justin Trudeau. I really did. Other than he had a news conference that he had because he assumed I was in an airplane and I wasn't watching. He learned that's going to cost a lot of money for the people of Canada. He learned. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You like that threat? John?
That's a serious threat.
You like that kind of threat?
No, it's petty. This is the President of the United States. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we're treating our friends, the countries that have fought and died with us to preserve liberty, and we're treating them like an extortion racket. It's horrific.
Well, let's talk about values. I don't want to get too squishy, but the fact is we believe in values, and the fact is we like democracies. We like countries where they actually get to pick their leaders and dump them when they don't like them. If you don't like Jimmy Carter, we could get rid of him. We could get rid of George Sr. and Bush, but we had the freedom to do that. They don't have the freedom to dump Kim Jong-un. He's a third-generation character who inherited the job, and he's probably got it for life. Well, it's certainly not a democracy.
This is the debate we were having after the G7 when President Trump said, well, let's let Russia back in. First of all, the G7 is not just economic powers. They're economic liberal democracies.
Yeah.
Russia's smaller economy than Brazil, than India, than almost the Republic of Korea.
Why does Trump want him in?
Because he's Putin's ally. Either Putin's got something on him. I mean,
well, that's a question I have. Does he want, Vivian, does he want to be allies with North Korea, friends?
I mean,
it seems like that's what he wanted. He was dating with the idea of marrying. He clearly, and I'm not, it's a pretty good metaphor. He wasn't just saying, I'm going to hang out with this guy for one day in Singapore. He was talking up a relationship.
Yeah, no, I mean.
How can you have a relationship with a dictator like that?
At least in the beginning, he wants to see other people, but he's definitely on the track to date him exclusively. I mean, he thinks that that's
well, look at his friends
legacy.
he's made. Erdogan in Turkey.
Trump doesn't date
Vladimir
exclusively.
Putin.
He likes to play
and he
around.
doesn't like anybody who's been elected.
Yeah.
You look, it's Putin, Xi, Kim now, Erdogan, and the people he's beating up on are our closest friends and allies. The Germans, the British, the French, the Canadians, it's everything is upside down.
But Chris, it's really important to think that we're going to actually need these allies for a lot of the negotiations coming forward. We're talking about China tariffs moving forward. The deadline is this Friday. Just to get China in compliance with some of the demands that this administration is pushing, we actually need our allies to help us sort of form that unified front to get China
I just remember Ronald Reagan, who was a Republican, who believed we were sitting on a hill, and he believed we were a role model. And he loved the fact that whatever you think of Reagan, he loved the fact it was a democracy. It was a liberal democracy. People had rights, and we got along with the rest of the world. And Reagan always tried to get along with the rest of the world, including communists. But he did it the right way. He negotiated. Anyway, thank you, John Wolfstell and Vivian Salama.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.